Human civilization has always been built around air. The atmosphere defines how we breathe, how fire burns, and how our bodies function. Underwater, all these rules change. Pressure increases with depth, light scatters, and sound travels differently. If humans could live underwater, it would not just be a change of environment, it would be a transition into a completely different physics. Water becomes the new atmosphere, and the ocean becomes the space where biology, technology, and the very shape of civilization are formed. Hi, my name is Yolera. In water, the human body loses most of its weight, but the pressure around it increases. This changes how the heart, lungs, and blood vessels function. If breathing is no longer based on air, the body must either extract oxygen from water or use artificial gas exchange systems. Bones, muscles, and joints operate in a state close to constant weightlessness. Human biology is forced to reorganize itself in order to survive in the dense, crushing environment of the ocean. What happens to the human body? How does breathing change? What happens to cities? How does food change? What happens to movement? Can a civilization exist without a surface? And what does all this have to do with pressure, salt, darkness, currents, sound, light, coral, glass, bones? As depth increases, water pressure rises by about 1 atmosphere every 10 meters. This compresses gases, affects oxygen solubility, and forces the body to function under completely different conditions. Human lungs cannot extract oxygen directly from water, so either gill-like structures or technological breathing systems are required. Gas exchange becomes the main engineering challenge. Without solving it, an underwater civilization cannot exist on a biological level. In water, gravitational load on the skeleton almost disappears. This leads to bone density loss and muscle weakening, similar to what happens to astronauts in space. To remain stable, the body needs either stronger bones or external exoskeletons. Joints and the spine experience different types of stress, and orientation in space becomes more complex. Human biomechanics must change so that movement in water becomes as natural as walking on land. Seawater is not just liquid, it is a complex chemical solution. High salt concentration affects osmotic pressure in cells and can damage tissues. To live in the ocean, the human body or its protective systems must isolate the internal environment from the surrounding water. Electrolyte balance becomes critically important. Even small leaks can cause dehydration or poisoning. So underwater biology must function as a sealed system. Light is rapidly absorbed by water. Just a few dozen meters down, the world becomes blue and dim. And deeper than that, almost completely dark. Eyes adapted to air and sunlight perform poorly. Underwater humans need either highly sensitive retinas or artificial light sources. Bioluminescence could become part of architecture and communication. Vision gives way to other senses. In water, sound travels about 4 times faster than in air. This makes acoustic communication the primary way of exchanging information. Underwater civilization uses echolocation, directed signals, and vibrations for navigation and communication. Speech may evolve into systems of tones and clicks. Communication becomes spatial, spreading across entire regions of the ocean. Water is constantly moving, creating complex systems of currents. These flows can transport people and objects over vast distances. Underwater cities must account for this dynamic motion, so they are not damaged or carried away. Transportation becomes hydrodynamic, and buildings take on streamlined shapes. Even walking turns into navigation within a moving ocean. Underwater cities must withstand pressure, corrosion, and moving water. They are built from glass, composites, and biomaterials designed to resist salt and stress. Domes, tunnels, and sealed compartments form complex three-dimensional structures. Unlike surface cities, underwater settlements exist in all directions at once. Architecture becomes spatial, and engineering becomes a matter of survival. Underwater food comes from marine ecosystems. Algae, plankton, fish, and cultivated organisms form the basis of nutrition. Underwater farms use light, filtration, and water circulation. Any imbalance can destroy food sources. Ecology becomes part of the economy and a matter of survival for civilization. To live underwater permanently, the human body must change. This can happen through genetic adaptation or technological support, artificial gills, gas exchange membranes, and reinforced blood vessels. Blood carries oxygen more efficiently, and tissues withstand high pressure. The body becomes a hybrid of biology and engineering. Humans transform into a life form designed for the ocean. Life underwater radically changes human perception of space and time. The absence of a horizon, constant darkness, and surrounding pressure create a chronic sensory load on the brain. People lose familiar signals of day and night, affecting circadian rhythms, sleep, and emotional stability. Enclosed volumes and depth increase feelings of isolation and anxiety. An underwater civilization must develop psychological and neurobiological adaptations so the mind can survive in a three-dimensional, pressurized world. When humans live underwater, the very concept of territory changes. There are no longer coastlines, borders, or continents. The ocean becomes a continuous three-dimensional space where cities are connected by currents and tunnels. The economy is built on energy from flows, biological resources, and underwater engineering. Politics and culture adapt to a world without a horizon. Humanity stops being a surface species and becomes a species fully embedded in the oceanic system of the planet. Life underwater is not just a new home. It is a new version of being human. It changes the body, breathing, senses, and even the way we think. We stop being a species that lives between sky and land and become part of the ocean. This is not an escape from Earth, but a deeper immersion into it. When we understand this, we begin to see Earth not as a surface, but as a living, complex environment. Subscribe, like, hit the bell, and keep training your brain.